Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to quarterfinals of upper bracket of MKE Championship Season 4, which is sponsored by Genesis 2 and co-sponsored by Zentro Store and Slay official YouTuber. I'm Saskia along with my partner Crunchy.
Co-caster, bro, not partner. But anyways, guys, as Sasuke said, I'll be your co-caster for today with Sasuke, and we'll be casting this amazing match. Sasuke, do you want to introduce both the teams?
Definitely, these two teams are, you may say, like the good teams or the best teams which have managed to, take down the slot of the quarterfinals. That is the team Panic versus Zenchi. Blue team will be Panic taking down Zenchi Esports on the red side.
Wait, what? Taking down? So you've already chosen a side, Sasuke. I see.
It's hard to choose a side between these two teams because if we see both of the teams' past matches, both of the teams played literally well. So now I'm kind of excited how it will be working out today.
I mean, you say you're excited, but you already said that Panic would be taking out Zenchi. So, I mean, we'll just pretend we never heard that, Sasuke. Yeah, that's best. That's
Well, leaving that all aside, let's jump into the draft.
pretty much. Except, wait, the game has started? Yep, now it started. Okay, guys. Anyway, the game has finally started. This is Panic versus Zenchi, and we'll most likely be seeing a very exciting match. I'm saying most likely. I expect an exciting match, but you never know, man. Sometimes, even though people wish for the best, it's not always that great. Anyway, we're seeing the 1-1 being banned for the first ban from the side of Panic. And meanwhile, Zenchi might have to ban out the Martis Leomord as usual, as we have seen. There is the Martis ban because it's really annoying to leave Martis open, and when you're the second pick, you're pretty much forced to. Otherwise, you're gonna have to concede the Martis pick to the first pick team, which is Panic. So Zenchi couldn't afford to take that risk. They banned out the Martis, and meanwhile, I feel that maybe a Valentina ban or maybe just a ban that will open something for them. There's wait, no way. How my predictions so on point today, Sasuke?
Well, I do think like you have been forcing things for now, but yeah, as you have predicted that correctly, Valentina will be banning from the side of Team Panic, and there's a Carmilla open, there's a Leo mode open, but
Raja's open too, but yeah, there's a Carmilla ban as you said. I guess we've been casting for this tournament for so long that we're just expecting the bans at this point. There's the Kaja pick though, and meanwhile Leomord is open for the side of Zenchi. They might take it, but of course you can always try to ignore the Leomord. There are actually a few counters for him. You can always try some tank with dominance ice as this first item. After all, Leomord versus that dominance ice, not such a great matchup. Slows his attack speed, slows his DPS's damage. It's not really easy to dominate in a frontline team that's building dominance ice as a Leomord. But there, I mean, I didn't really expect them to actually listen to that and not pick Leomord. But I mean, I guess I don't know, man. They're going for the Leomord, I guess. Panic is intent on picking some of these really strong heroes. Fasa and Clint have been picked though. I'm kind of confused as to why they picked it first. But of course, Fasa is a great mage, one of the best mages in the current meta. That high ground advantage that she has is pretty much irreplaceable. But maybe they should have delayed the pick a bit, because right now, as we can see that they've picked the Claude, it's going to be a bit hard for the Fasa to handle a Claude because he's pretty mobile. And when he dives, it's going to be either I couldn't say lights out for Fasa because she's blind, but maybe it's curtains for her. I don't know. But anyway, we're seeing the Badang pick blocked by Zenchi. Is it? Yup, it's the Badang coming in from the side of Zenchi. They finalized their first phase with some really weird picks, if I say so myself, Sasuke.
Well, that's not a weird pick in my opinion. If we talk about that Clint, the Clint is a most used marksman in this tournament. Speaking of the statistical data we have received, Clint has been played a 46 matches so far, with having a highest win with a 60% win rate and a total win of 28 matches. So it's a kind of most valuable marksman in my opinion for this tournament. As we speak of the ban, there is is a Grok ban coming in from Team Zenchi and as well as the Atlas ban coming in from Team Panic.
Yup. But like as you said about the Clint, I do agree quite a bit. The Clint pick, it's it's since it's an easy hero, it's really easy to execute. There is a really low likelihood for anybody to make mistakes, even if you were playing the hero Sasuke. But anyway, we're deviating from the topic. We're seeing a Matilda being lifted up by the side of Zenchi. Maybe they want to try for that Badang plus Matilda wombo combo, since Badang is pretty immobile after his first dash, and maybe he needs a bit of setup potential from that Matilda to really do something. But you know what this opens a path for? It opens a path for a Bharat's pick, actually. No, Sasuke, wouldn't you agree?
As Bharat's in a hyper in the side of Team Zenchi. Well, I would agree, but we are seeing, okay, he was showing a Roger, so I was pretty confused, like who was going in EXP, like is this a Leo mode on EXP? But we are seeing an Akai pick over here, so Akai will be the roamer for the Team Panic.
Pretty much. But I mean, I do feel that they should try for a Bharat right here. They really need the front line, and the Lance might not exactly give them just that. But it said they're going for the Balmond. Is it the Balmond though? Is it the Balmond? Nah, it's the Bane. So I mean, looking at the draft, I kind of am siding with Panic. I can't really see Zenchi having a proper front line. They have the Matilda, but it might not be enough in this current situation that we're seeing here. It's going to be a bit hard for them to get intel across the map if they are ever going to land themselves in a very position where they're in the backhand. Wouldn't you agree, Sasuke?
Well, I would not agree with you in this situation, because I have seen this kind of draft towards the Zenchi sport in the previous round, that is the round 1 of upper bracket, if I'm not wrong, as Azelon, that Badang was pretty much dominating his lane against some tanky heroes, and we might see some awesome gameplays right here. But here we can see both of the drafts are pretty ready. So I will be vouching a counter against you. I will be vouching for Zenchi Sport this time.
Pretty much. But when you said that they've played this comp before, that actually it's never said in the tournament rules that it's not permitted for a team to watch the live streams. So the fact that they've played this kind of comp before actually kind of plays against them too. Maybe the side of Panic will have an answer to their rotations and whatever they do. Right now we're seeing that Panic is trying to poke the Bane a bit. They know that his jungling and his survivability in the early levels might not be as good as some other heroes. We're seeing the retribution used up by the Bane. There's 3 people collapsing onto the Kaja. He's pretty durable, but he might just never mind. The Fasa misses her skill 1 and skill 2, and that's a Bane being taken really low. The Akai might actually get the kill, but it says it's the Leomord getting the first blood. Akai goes down. Kaja getting another kill on the map. Double kill for the Leomord. That might be a triple, but it said no, it is a triple, is it? Yes, it's a triple kill. That's insane. The Leomord's already so fed. This is like genuinely, this is the reason why you really have to respect a Leomord pick from the enemy whenever you see it. The Kaja, look at him. He's already leashing the Leomord's buff. So he'll actually be so fed right now after this whole rotation ends up, Sasuke.
I am pretty excited. Like, I was expecting this Kaja to be on EXP and that Akai on Roam, but we are seeing a different scenario over here. Kaja is on Roam and he will be poking again that Bane. He's right on his nose. He's just trying to bully him, and yeah, he's making sure that he use his resources. That is the retribution in here. Leomord do uses his ultimate and he will be securing that kill over that Matilda. Meanwhile, Kaja falls down to the hands of that Bane.
Pretty much. Meanwhile, we're seeing the Fasa being the second casualty for the side of Zenchi. This is why, I was kind of hesitant on vouching for Zenchi, because firstly, they ignored a lot of prior picks like the Leomord, like the Kaja. They just let it slip by their hands. They went for the Fasa and Clint. It said the early game for the mid, rotation is really not that impressive. They have a Fasa, they have a Matilda, and wait, that's a Petrify, and that's a Badang being taken out by the Kadita in the bot side. That's a massive blow. They're already down half the kills, and 2 of the kills are on the Roamer, so it's really not looking good for the side of Zenchi right here. We're seeing the turtle being contested. No, actually, not really contested. Wait, the Fasa gets picked up by the Divine Judgment, and Leomord will use his mouth state to finish her off. The Bane is being choked so much in his whole jungle. Already a level lead for the Leomord, and right now, Kadita seems to be trying to do something. Wait, will she actually get it? Never mind. She does not have the ultimate. She does not, need to take this fight right now. She pulls back, plays a bit safe, and right now we're seeing that maybe this is not the best, this is not the most optimal situation for Zenchi. The Roma's died twice, and a lot of the other members have also been added to the body count for the side of Panic. Right now we're seeing that Bane needs a lot. Wait, Claude being locked out by the circling eagle. That's a lot of damage, but he's able to disengage pretty safely. The Beam comes in at the right time. Wait, but the Bane, that's a pretty good lurking, but the Kaja sights him instantly. That'll be the Kadita using the rough waves, and that'll be a lot of damage placed onto the Feather. Side comes in, but the Blazing Duet is in the backline. The Claude is dealing a lot of damage over there. Leomord comes in with his ultimate, but Matilda will flicker out. Bane is still in the backline. Kaja is trying to help the kill. That's a monster kill. Maybe Kadita petrified, goes for it. Clint taken down by the Kaja. Leomord still inside the turret. That's two people siege in the top side. Leomord gets a double kill, and that will be another kill for the side of Panic. Double kill for the Kaja. This is some insane game play from the side of Panic. They're seeing opportunities right across the map. They know their heroes. They are playing like, this is honestly such a beautiful engage game. They saw the opportunity to bait with that Claude, got the Matilda with the circling eagle into their side of the map. Then they just waited for that. They expected the Bane to go for that lurk. Feather SI coming out from the far side on the mid lane, but it won't really do anything much. But as I was saying, the Bane, they knew he would lurk. The Kaja sighted him, and the Leomord went in. All spells used. Kadita going in. The dives. The pressure was just insane from the side of Panic. And now we're seeing that this is leading them to a really sizable 4K gold lead. Bane, that's not the right position you want to be in. The Divine Judgment comes in, but Matilda's there to help him out, just saving him by inches. Kaja is in a really questionable position right now, gets taken down. Bane gets a kill at last, but retribution will be secured by Leomord. Kadita getting her rough waves again. Bane misses the ultimate onto the Kadita, but it'll be enough to zone out the Leomord from securing yet another kill. So it'll just be a 1-for-0 trade, but Turtle taken by the side of Panic. Sasuke.
Even though they too managed to take down that turtle, that's a huge goal lead in the early phase of the game. Meanwhile, we are seeing another team fight. Okay, they will be retreating, but we cannot say or be sure. The Padang is going to use his ultimate. Meanwhile, Akai is going to use his ultimate, but he just passed through the tower. Okay, there's another tower fall.
Pretty much the tier 1 of the bot side is falling down, but the tier 1 of the top side will also be traded by the side of Zenchi. They're on the losing hand, but they're trying to play their advantages. They're trying to get the push, trying to get some objective gameplay, even though they're on the losing hand. Retribution used by the Pain, but the Divine Judgment from the Kaja will come in. Leomord is gonna try to use his ultimate, try to get a kill, but no, Clint. That's not the right position to be in. Ryzen backing off right there. That was pretty risky, man. Flicker used up by the Clint. This is not looking good for them, even when the side of Panic is making a mistake in judgment. They're still somehow getting Zenchi on the backhand, wasting up some battle spell or the other. This just shows the level of mastery that this team has. Kaja is in the backline once more. You can see, Feather SI used by the Fasa. This is a lot of damage on the Kaja, but he's forced to flicker out. Kadita taken down, and this is the first time we're seeing that Zenchi actually has a sizable lead in this team fight. They get another kill. Leomord might want to use his ultimate right now. That's a bad position to be in. Clint once more getting taken out due to very questionable positioning. Matilda, you forced to use that flicker, still taken really low, but Leomord will not be able to secure that kill. This is actually a winning trade for the side of Zenchi. They got a mid tower and they got a kill. So right now we're pretty much equal in terms of the turrets, because despite the fact that they're on the losing hand, Zenchi is still able to push the turrets in. That's where the Bane pick is pretty phenomenal, I'd say. if I could say anything, Sasuke. Wait, turtle cut test. Will he get it? Yep, Leomord secures the turtle. That was a bit of a misentry by the side of, Zenchi, and it will be a punish straight away legendary for the Leomord. Bane taken down once again. Claude and the Clint having a 1v1 dogfight in the mid side, but Clint looking to push the bot side now. Sasuke.
Yeah. These times they are trying to take something out of the fight. Every now and then they are fighting, they are taking the objectives. If they are losing the fight, they are split pushing and they are trying to make out of that fight. Meanwhile, we can see an engage coming in from Team Panic, and that will be Farsha taken out by the Karita.
I mean, normally I'd say that was a wonderful lurk, but there the Barak being taken out as another casualty. He was not really in a great position there. Kaja taking out the Clint. Divine Judgment has been used up. But as I was saying, the Fasa, bit of a questionable ult from there in the mid side. She didn't really get any traction from it, didn't get any lead from it, didn't clear the wave even. So I don't know what she was thinking there, but I mean, it is what it is, man. Sometimes you just happen to mess up, and once more, she's taken down again. So much pressure onto Cresselia from the side of Panic. They're not letting up at all. Karita using another wait, Matilda, get back. Leomord going for the mount again, but this time he just might be caught out. Got really low. Badak goes for the flicker, but wait, the Akai being picked up, but no, it won't be the case this time around. Akai manages to get away, uses that petrify in that whole engage, though Claude getting a lot of damage onto the Badang. That's the sentry ward used up by the side of Zenchi. They need some intel on the map, but they've already used the sentry ward. Sasuke, what is your opinion about the situation right now?
Well, the Lord is going to be respawning in the 5 seconds. Okay, he is there, and things are not looking very well for Team Zenchi. As we can see, the cool lead is around 8k, and Matilda is trying to give some of the vision, but if one mistake, that will be an off a 3v4 situation for them. Okay, that's the Panic taking down that 9 minutes Lord.
Yep, pretty much. It's still an early Lord blazing to it, used by the Claw to clear the mid wave. I mean, would have been better if they had just conserved it in some way or the other. But wait, that's another misposition. Feathered airstrike coming in. Matilda manages to save the Bane from another really bad positioning mistake. It's a lot of these very questionable, just questionable, front to back positions that Zenchi takes, that's really leading them to getting picked off one by one. But this is what I meant when I said that they should have just picked up on the Barats instead of the Bane. They've not really got a front line. The Kaja gets picked out there, but he's just too tanky at this point. The side of Panic has a 10k goal lead, which is insane. They literally have like 50 half of Team Zenchi's gold is basically, that's the lead that Panic has on Zenchi right now. Sieging with the Lord, but it won't be enough because this is a 9-minute Lord. They won't be able to do anything with it. But there will be another in another 2 minutes. So we'll have to see what happens with that 12-minute Lord. Wait, Kaja going for the flicker with the Divine Judgment, and that's Bane taken out by the side of Panic. This is not looking good. They've lost their jungler. They've lost a lot of ground here. Zenchi looking to defend their base in this way. Kadita, that was pretty risky, but Fasa manages to take her out with the feathered airstrike nevertheless. Badang getting a lot of damage taken onto the face. Matilda, this Leomord's dealing a lot here, doing a lot. This was a really great draft by the side of Panic. Leomord trying to bait out some skills, trying to see, just test the waters with the side of Team Zenchi. He needs some skills used up so that their team can siege, but since they didn't do that, they decide to be disciplined. They decide to back out and kind of freeze the waves right now. They're trying to go for this jungle farm. Meanwhile, the Bane is managing to finally get a hold of a bit of his farm. That Karita pickoff was really rough for them, and if that hadn't happened, it would have probably still been Team Panic pressuring the base. Right now we're seeing Akai trying to stay in the backline, get some pickoff. Kaja's doing the same, And this is the entire strategy that Panic have been using till now. Just two people going for these, you know, going ahead, trying to sight some pickoffs, see if they can get any plays in. Meanwhile, the rest of the team is just farming, just waiting, or Kadita's just waiting for an engage from either of these two. And right now, we can see that Zenchi is hold up in their base. They've not got a good, position right here. They're not doing too well. And we can see that the goal lead is still 10k, so they probably shouldn't be trying to contest this lot unless they feel that they can't defend the base, which I mean they can because they have the Fasa, they have the Clint, they have some semblance of a high ground, they have the Matilda for the disengage. All they need to do is kind of play safe and defend their base instead of trying to go for an engage, trying to go for a lot contest. Right about now they know their leads pretty bad, and the goal diff is pretty bad. Leomord is fed and he's got 10-0-6. You really have to give it for Zetli in this match, because even though I've seen a lot of Leomords have a lot of good setup from the team, but he's really making use of the setup right now. He's getting traction, he's getting those ultimates, he's getting those pickoffs. And right now we can see that the Lord has come. It's an enhanced Lord, 12-minute Lord. And Fasa going for the feathered airstrike. Bit of a questionable position. Blazing Duet comes in for the claw. And that will be the legendary Badang getting picked off. Divine Judgment has been used by the Kaja. Bane getting picked off by the Kadita. Akai zoning out the Clint, and that will be the game for the side of Panic. They have triumphed over Zenchi in a pretty dominant manner in the first match, Sasuke.
Yeah, definitely. That was a pretty awesome game coming in from Team Panic. They did try to get the hold of the game from the initial stage. That is, as soon as the game was, you know, was started. Yeah, the roamer was just in the enemy jungle just to bully him, just to make his farm low, so that Bane would be in the low farm and they will be getting an upper hand in terms of the roamer. And Leomord was just to fed in the early phase. I think he was a score. He was in a score having 4-0-0, something like that. At an early snowball for Leomord. Even in the late game, the Leomord score is a pretty 11-0-6, a pretty devastating pick, I would say. But that Kaja was the main reason. Like, I would say his rotation, his map sense, his visions, and everything was too perfect. Even we saw how did he used his flicker ult just to mark the main focused players.
Pretty much, he marked those priority targets for the side of Panic. He marked the Fasa, he marked the Bane, he marked the Clint, and whenever he saw an opportunity, he saw a time when they needed the Matilda maybe to get some vision. He marked her too, and the Badang was really taken good care of by the rotations. Early, I felt that he was gonna win his lane versus the Akai, because the Akai was taking some T40 on that Akai, taking some really risky lane cuts. But towards the end, you could see that the whole rotation and the whole angle from which Panic played this match really helped them cinch that XP lane victory. They allowed the turret on the top to be pushed after they secured it. They allowed the claw to rotate, get fed, and that's exactly why this team is to be feared. This team is to be respected, and that's why they won this game. Sasuke.
Yeah, definitely. And that will be it for the match one between these two teams. This is a best of five we'll be seeing between these two teams. And before we start the second match, let me remind you the MKE Championship Season 4 is actually sponsored by Genesis 2 and co-sponsored by Zentro Store and Slay Official. I'm Kaz Sasuke along with my partner, of course, co-caster Crunchy, and we'll be signing off for now. We'll be back soon.
Hello and welcome back to our wonderful audience to the MK Season 4 quarterfinals. I am here with my co-caster Sasuke. Hello Sasuke, what do you think? Who's going to win this match again?
Well, that was a pretty awesome match. The match one between these two teams. Panic was totally dominating, and I think in the draft phase we might see some respect panel. That is the Kaja, that Kaja was a huge, I would say, a huge lead or an aspect for them to make out. He was bullying the enemy jungler in the early phases of the game, where the time was 0 to 10 seconds. I mean, literally the early phase. And this is the MKE Championship Season 4, which is sponsored by Zentro Store and co-sponsored by Zentro Store, and Slay official YouTuber. Well, let's go on with the match 2 between these two teams, which will be Zenchi on blue side taking on Panic on red side.
Your team is banning.
Well, we have entered the first phase of the ban. We have the Zenji going first for the ban, and Cresselia from Team Zenji is to be the one to be the first banning hero. Probably they are going to ban Akaja, any of the teams, because they don't want any trouble from the last game to surface again. We see a ban of Carmilla coming in with the first. What do you think was going to be? And we see a 1-1. They certainly do not want to go late game, I guess. Sasuke?
Well, 1-1, we have seen that Zenchi Gold Laner, Zenchi Gold Laner do plays an awesome man. So they are neglecting that hero. They are not giving them that hero to Zenchi at any cost. And this time, if we speak about that Carmilla, Carmilla is a pretty team fight oriented hero. So banning her is a huge opportunity. And we are seeing a Kadita. Kadita was also playing a major role in the last game. We saw how beautiful set was coming from Kadita. I'm expecting a Valentina ban coming in from this Team Panic or even a Martis ban. These two heroes are pretty dominating, leaving a Martis. Okay, they are going for that Valentina ban. Martis is open, even Kaja is open. If they manage to secure a Martis in, okay, they will be securing.
Well, we do have Kaja still open. We do have the Leo mode still open. Oh, okay, they did pick Patch Kaja. Are they going for Leo mode? I guess not, because they already have a fighter. Probably they should go for a mage or a good tank, because Hyper has already been picked by Team Zenji. So probably, okay, Leo mod, Hyper, okay, well, my guesses are coming correct this day.
Indeed, and we can see, Kaja is, I think, will be going on Rome, I guess, yet again. Last game we saw, I was thinking like Kaja will be going on EXP and Akai will be the roamer, but they just misplaced, interchanged the roles, and the Kaja was on roamer, and we are seeing Clint being picked in the side of Zenchi. Clint is a most used marksman in the MK Championship Season 4 tournament. That is a total of 46 matches according to the statistical data of the MKE Championship, and the win rate over that 46 matches is 60% win rate.
Well, he is certainly a good hero, along with the crowd control of their fighter who happens to be Minnesota this time. Well, we certainly cannot, underestimate Kaja. His ultimate and the late damage that it gives in the mid to late game. It's probably one of the best amongst the fighters. The magic damage that it has. Certainly, it will not affect much on the physical damage side, but of course, he has Leo mode to finish the game. He has now they have Beatrix. And as we speak, Sasuke, we have entered the second stage of the ban. We see a Lilia ban from Team Panic.
Well, they might be planning for some heavy damage or front line in EXP, which counters, which is a counter for Lilia, So that's why they are neglecting that Lilia ban. And here we go. We are seeing a Grok ban coming again. We in the past rounds, Grok was picked in EXP, and the Grok was played by Team Panic, and that was a beautiful Grok play coming in from that team. So they are banning that hero. They are not giving them any chance to use this hero. So no, there are a couple of respect ban coming in from both of the teams.
Well, we see, are they going to pick a Diggy or a Joy? Well, Team Panic seems to have a good amount of crowd control with their team, and certainly they have many purifying heroes in Team Zenji. They have Hyper in the form of Martyrs. Okay, they going to pick Atlas. Well, that's a good pick considering they have picked Farsa as the mage. That is going to be a good combination of the mid lane. They have picked a certain like a balanced team. Team Zenji, well, Team Panic are yet to pick a tank of their own.
Well, I think like Kaja will be their Roma in my opinion. They are left with that mage pick. So they might be going for that Kaja mage and they can even go for that Diggy as their Roma. But Kaja and mage will certainly okay. We are seeing an Alice pick. No, Alice has been buff in the recent patch update, but I have not seen any Alice players in the tournament.
For a certain change, and they must have looked for, yeah, this is a good chance to play out a secret card in the tournament.
Definitely, and as we speak, the draft has been up, and which team do you think the draft has the upper hand of winning this match too?
Well, I'll definitely go with Team Zenji because they have a good Atlas, they have a good tank, I would say. They have an Hyper, they have a Mage, they have a Marksman, they have an EHP laner. So they seem to be pretty balanced While if we go to Team Panic, they have focused more on the magic damage with Kaja and Alice. Let's hope they have. Everybody has that advantages at the moment, as we can see, but definitely the damage seems to be a bit higher with Team Zenji.
Definitely, and this is the MK Championship. Meanwhile, the players are taking their position. I'd like to introduce you our sponsor. The MK Championship Season 4 is sponsored by Zentro Store and co-sponsored by Zentro Store and Slay Official. And meanwhile, we can see, Kaja is this time is playing bit safe. Like he knew, okay, there's a pause initiating from Leomord. That is a team panic. They will be initiating a pause. A pause is of a 2 minutes according to the tournament rules. By the way, Grim, what do you think about the rotations? Like, why is the Kaja in the mid phase? Okay, we can see Jawhead is offline and he's sitting in the base. Hello, Grim.
Well, I certainly did, look into the rotation. Of course, they have initiated a pause as of now, but Raja in the mid lane, I don't think that's a good option as of against an Atlas and the Farsa.
Yeah, and we are seeing Alice in the EXP lane. I was pretty confused. Like I thought, like Kaja would be a roam, and Jawhead would be the one who's be going in the EXP lane, and Alice will be the mage. But even though this works too, like Kaja will be the mage, and he'll be giving the Flicker ultimate sets, and also Kaja on mage is will be giving some of the high amount of damage. Meanwhile, we can see like there's a mage Alice in the EXP lane. So the magic damage coming in from Team Panic will be equally as of the Team Zenchi.
I certainly hope so, because Alice can perform as a tank as well. And but going in early games against Mansita, I don't think that's the right option to do. What they should have done is Alice being in the mid lane with Kaja and Jawhead going to the XP lane to fight Mansita. Probably that would have been a good idea. But
Definitely.
let's see what they are trying to do.
Definitely, and we are seeing that Martis is will be securing that Little Wanderer, and he'll be rotating towards his buff. Meanwhile, we can see Jawhead is up. He's trying to Jawhead is roaming this time.
Well, definitely John is home this time. Probably they are trying to support the hyper. Now, is he going to see a gank on the buff? Probably not, because they must have expected. And we see a gank already in the game, and Mate is going in there for the first blood, and he is chasing the enemy Leomord. But will he be able to do it? And no, he just escapes. But that was a good kill.
Definitely, that engage, like they were ready to take down the enemy jungle bed. Instead, they were in the bad position, and Martis was already there, level 4, and he was waiting for them. And here we can see, like Beatrix is dealing some true amount of damage towards Martis, but he will be retreating in safely.
Well, we see another engagement in the mid lane. There's Atlas being thrown away by the Jawhead, but Atlas will escape there. Meanwhile, I see uh, Team Zenji. They are not being strong on the mid lane as they should be against Team Panic, because they have a good tank. Atlas is a pretty formidable tank compared to Alice. The crowd, the throwaway of Jawhead is probably the one forcing them to retreat as of now. And we see Leo Mod going in the fray, but the entire team, Zenji, will be retreating to get back their HPs at line, and the turtle will be taken by the Leo Mod without any hesitation, without any pressure. And so, who do you think, Sasuke, has the upper hand right now in the game?
Well, definitely, that Atlas will is having some amount of struggle, just because to give vision, like there is a Jawhead, he'll just throw him out to take him off position. There's Kaja, like if Jawhead managed to throw someone else, Kaja is there to ultimate him, and he uses Divine Judgment, and we can see Jawhead is going to use his ultimate, but there, okay, we are seeing a Divine Judgment used on Clint, and he'll be taken down by that Beatrix.
And we see another failed attempt of the ultimate by Farsa. He was unable to give damage to any of the enemy heroes. They were they had a pretty easy escape, I would say, Team Panic. And yeah, I don't think, even after having a pretty balanced composition in the team picks, they are not performing as they should be, Team Zenji, while Team Panic with an added damage with the added magic damage, they are still performing good. Probably not much of a bigger lead, but still they are being pretty formidable compared to Team Zenji, and that will be of a good help, in the late game.
Yeah, definitely. And we can see, like, there are 3 members, and the Leo mode is going to join the temp in the top. And we can see Divine Judgment has been used by the Kaja. Okay, there's a the flicker going in. Okay. There's an ultimate 2-man ultimate, but the Atlas will be going down in the hands of Beatrix.
Well, that was a pretty petty encounter, I would say, and they are going still for the poor. Will they be able to do it? And Farsa going in again. But that is not a good idea at all for Kaja to stay in the bush. Kaja was planning to go in and pull the Farsa out for the kill, but was taken down by the damage of Clint. And that was an easy kill for Clint. Probably they had an upper hand while they were going for a team fight. And the sneak attack by Beatrix taking down the Martis. And they are pretty good all right now. Sasuke, what do you say? Team
Yeah,
Panic
they'll be getting this free turtle as they manage to take down the hyper, that is the Martis, so they are pretty confident that they'll be taking down this turtle without any situation. And there is an ultimate going on to that. Okay, Atlas will be using his ultimate. A Divine Judgment is there, and that Atlas will be taken down yet again. And Farsa did use his ultimate to give some damage, but she'll be retreating to the mid lane.
Well, probably she is not be able to give the damage she wants because okay, and we see a takedown of Johad by Martis and Farsa. Meanwhile, Kaja taking down the enemy hero, and will they be able to secure the lane again? But because they have already lost one turret of the mid lane, will they be able to secure the mid lane, or will they be able to go and fight? Meanwhile, Farsa taking down the Beatrix with the ultimate, and we see another engagement on the red buff of Team Panic, and that will be taken down by Martis. That was a good steal, I would say. I would say a good team steal.
Yeah, and we can see Divine Judgment has been used to the client, and Kaja will be having some trouble. You can see a 3v1 situation, and Martis will be securing that kill. Okay, he secures that kill, and we can see Atlas do use his ultimate just to make sure Leomord do uses his ultimate, and Jawhead will be taking down that kill on the client.
Well, we see Leomord going into the fray and sneaking in for that petty double, and they have a good support in the form of Jawhead. Jawhead, I would not say is going roam. He is actually being a good support at the moment. He is, giving. He is doing a good up and down tactics. He's going to help his MM. He's going to help uh, the farm, and he's also protecting the lanes as well. He's being also a good support to Leo Mod. Meanwhile, we see an engagement at the mid lane in the blue buff of Team Zenchi, and Alice will be taken down with a team effort by Team Zenchi. Will we be able to see the turtle? Will Martis be able to take the turtle for the first time of the game? And this is the third turtle of the game. Everybody should remember. And they did take the turtle and the kill of Kaja.
Things are looking pretty well for an instant in the side of teams, and there we go. Atlas is going, but he will be retreating back since the amount of damage that Beatrix was dealing was too huge, and his HP was not there. And we can see Alice is going to engage, but she'll be taken down by that Martis within an instant. The amount of damage dealing from the Martis is too huge, and he might secure. Okay, both of the teams are retreating, but we can see an engage coming in from this Minsta.
Well, we did see a good engage there, but he was unable to hook and the Beatrix or the Leo mode, even though they were very close to his skill, but he was still unable to do so. And we see Kaja doing a camp in the mid lane along with Jawhead, and they are definitely trying to push and finish from the mid lane, I would say.
Meanwhile, we can see like Clint was trying to push down the bot lane, but we can see Minsta has been caught up in a 1v3 situation. He's forced to use his ultimate, and we can see the Alice will be going down. And since Leomord will be taking down that kill on the Minsta.
Well, that was a 1v4. That was a total and complete gank out on Minnesota. That was a perfect gank. They were able to secure the kill. And we see Amat is going into the fight. And will he be able to take the kill? And yes, he does take the kill of John for more. But now they will be retreating as we speak. What I think is probably rather than taking team fights, Team Zenji should focus on getting their farm a bit more, taking a bit, increasing the damage a bit, they're spending some time with the team, roaming and protecting the lanes because they have already lost. So that will give them a lot of trouble in the late game.
And we can see a beautiful set coming in from that Kaja. He used his Divine Judgment on the Atlas, and Beatrix will be securing the kill. And we can see another team fight going on. And Martis is there, but he'll be shut down with the damage coming in from the Beatrix. And Clint, meanwhile, he just burst out that Alice. The damage coming in from both of the marksmen is too humongous. And we can see Clint will be fallen down. That Leo mode will be securing it's a 1-for-2 trade off, and no Team Panic will be taking that level 10 Lord. Okay, I mean, okay, level 1 Lord, which is at a time of 11 minutes.
Well, they are definitely trying to get some advantage over here, but we see an perfect gank being executed team by Team Zenchi on Leo mode that was used by Atlas. He was able to secure the Leo mod for his teammates to kill. We see another engagement coming in between the Minisitar and the Alice. We see the Atlas in the fray. Meanwhile, Martis takes down the first Lord of the game. Minisitar taking down the Atlas. Team Zenji have started to take back the control of the game, and they have secured a good. They have secured the Lord. Of course, they have lost 4 of their team members, but they have started to come back into the game, I would say.
In terms of the gold lead, there's actually no gold lead. The teams are taking down the team fights back and forth, and there's too much of back and forth. Sometimes the team fight is won by Team Zenchi, and sometimes it is won by Team Panic. It is an interesting match between these two teams. Yet again, I would like to remember, like, as the late game proceeds, both of the marksmen will be too dangerous. They'll be dealing a lot of amount of damage. So it's up to them, like, which marksman dies first in the late game.
Well, we definitely see Clint having more farm than Beatrix, but Beatrix has more kills than Clint. So we don't know. Both of the marksmen could do wonders in the late game. But if you look at the map control, if you look, see, there are 2 kinds of things that you need to have a focus on while playing Mobile Legends, right? One is game control, and another is map control. And at the moment, you see the map control of Team Panic is wonderful as they take down the Atlas from Team Zenchi, and they are going to push to take down the kill of Minisitar. Will they be able to do it? And now Minisitar will be escaping the scene. Jawhead, though, still trying to be good engagement in the mid lane. He was trying to engage with the Minisitar and the Leo mod, but they will be escaping the scene. And they have already pushed 5 turrets of Team Zenji. They have lost only 4 as we speak, and they have a good roaming strategy as compared to Team Zenji.
Yeah, definitely. We can see in the team fight, Jawhead was dead, and right now it's a favor. Meanwhile, we can see Leomord is ganking him in, and he'll be taking down that mage, but instead Leomord will be dying. So it's a mage for a hyper trade off. I don't think it's a pretty good trade off, because we are seeing that a level 12 Lord, I mean the level 14 minutes Lord, that is the level 2 Lord, will be up in 20 seconds. And
well, we see definitely that Lord will be helping them a bit, but I don't think that will do much, because both the teams have already reached the inhibitor turrets of each other. So it is just a matter of time when they start pushing and finish the game. The Lord, only thing the Lord will do is buy them some time. And we see already the fight on the Lord, and Martis takes down the Lord with a good steal. And Team Panic, they just have missed it, and Team Zenji has started to take lead again of the gold. They are already on 3k gold lead. They have started to take control of the game as well, while Martis being on the lead with the 9 kills, and the Farsa being a good support with 10 assists. And Minnesota trying to pull in Jawhead. Will they be able to take down Jawhead? And no, Jawhead used a good escape there. He had a good escape, though he was not supposed to. They were Leo Mod and Beatrix coming in for the backup, but still, they have Minisitar and Martis going after the Jawhead, and he still escaped. We might see a good engagement in the blue buff, but Martis will be stealing that as well.
And we can see, that Fasha was forced to use his ult, and we can see the Lord is marching down to the enemies from the bottom lane, and Jawhead is pretty sneaky. He is hiding in the bush, and I can see a team fight has been established over there, and all of the youth they are using their ultimate. Meanwhile, Minstar do manage to secure kill, and he do gets a double kill. Meanwhile, Martis to secures a kill over the Jawhead. Leomord will be securing, but he'll be going down instead, and things are not looking pretty good for Team Panic, and that will be the team clean wiped out for 3 to 5 trade. Beatrix is the last one. I mean, the Clint is the last one standing, and he will be ending the pace.
Well, they have a pretty good chance to finish the game, and they will do it. Team Zenchi coming in with the comeback. They did not have such good performance in the early game, but they did start. They did start getting a comeback from the late, from the mid to late game, and they finished with a win in the second match of the quarterfinals between Team Zenji and Team Panic. That was a good match. There's not much of a score difference there, 23-22.
Yeah, definitely. And the amount of damage both of the marksmen were dealing was too humongous, And as I said, like it was in the late game, it will be the one marksman who falls down the first or dies the first will be the team losing, because we can see both of the damage has done a ton amount of damage. Meanwhile, we can see Clint has done 95,000 damage. Meanwhile, Beatrix is already on 65,000 damage.
Well, if we go to the amount, 67% turret damage by Trent, 83% of team fight participation, and compare it to the Beatrix, only 44% of turret damage, team fight 68%. Well, Trent was definitely on the roll, going up and down the entire map.
Definitely, and that will be up for the match too. Both of the teams have scored one-on-one, so things are pretty going well for both of the teams. The Zenchi Esport 2 managed to go for the comeback. This is match 2. Zenchi taking the win over the Panic, the MKE Championship Season 4, which is sponsored by Zentro Store and co-sponsored by Zentro Store and Slay official YouTuber. Will be right back with the match 3. Stay tuned. And this is Sasuke with my partner Graham. Will be coming back soon.
Well, that was a good fight, Sasuke. Request our wonderful audience to stay on the stream. We will be right back with match 3. Stay tuned.
Hey everyone, welcome back. You are watching the MKE tournament. Thank you all for sticking for so long, and I'm really sorry for the little delay that just occurred. But we are back again with yet another exciting game number 3 that's going to be between Team Panic on the blue side. They'll be taking on Team Zenchi on the red side. The sponsors of this tournament are Genesis Store, co-sponsored by Z3 Store, Zentro Store, as well as Slay official YouTuber. Thank you so much for the support, guys. And I also want to thank our audience. Now, without any major delays, let's just jump into the game number 3. Let's see which team will get the second point and will be one step closer to moving to the next round. Casters for this match will be me, Scared Yet, and along with me, the guy joining me will be Abhishek. How are you doing?
Doing good, my friend, Scared, and we have already entered the first phase of the ban. We see a 1-1 being banned by Team Panic, and probably they have did not want to go into the late game as they have already banned 1-1 twice, I would say, in just 3 matches.
Well, 1-1 has the highest win rate in this tournament right now. It's up by 72%, probably, if I'm not wrong. I'll just have to recheck that one fact as well. But yes, it's actually 72%. So, of course, I really feel like it's very good banning out that specific marksman in that role. But also, side by side, Grim, I think that there are other heroes as well that need to be taken care of. Leomord and Martis were two of them, and they both have been banned out. So I believe bans are pretty even coming in from this side.
True love. Your team is picking.
Hello? All right, no worries, no worries. I believe that Akhocaster is facing some issues. He'll be right back, guys. No worries. Let's just look at the current draft, the current situation. Carmilla as well as the Kaja being picked up by both the teams. A good answer for a Carmilla is actually a Kaja. That's really good because the Divine Judgment is amazing to stop the aggression coming in from Carmilla. And even though her ultimate has been revamped, I believe it's a very strong tool to be used. But if in case Kaja just suppresses her right before she casts her ultimate, it's going to give a major advantage to the side of Zenchi. If in case they're able to pull this off, it's going to be, I would say, a comparatively smooth sailing for their side. Grim, what do you think?
Well, what I do think is Team Zenji will be winning this match because they have picked their combination of Kaja and Clint once again. They were actually pretty unstoppable from the mid to late game. Of course, they were not performing well of the early start game, but they were pretty formidable. So I am rooting for Team Zenji once again.
But then again, the epic comebacks are always real. So I wouldn't put Panic out of the picture just yet because looking at the draft, Grok along with a Kadita. So pretty good initiating combination. But I would want to see where they would put this Carmilla in. I really feel like they might actually go for Carmilla jungle in this situation. And if in case they pull that off, man, I'm going to be so surprised because it's not like I don't expect that. I've also tried that myself, and it's absolutely mind-boggling.
Well, we are definitely going to see a good fight because Grok was actually banned in the last game, and they have picked it this time, Team Panic, and I suppose that is one of their most comfortable comfort picks at the moment because I don't think we see much Grok being picked when we play in classics and ranks, right? What do you think, Scared?
I really feel like that in high level plays and in MPLs, I've seen quite a lot of Grog, to be honest. Not in the normal Mythic League, probably in the higher Mythical Glory Leagues, there is a Grog play. A lot of people use Grog. And it's just because how that hero can be used in so many ways. You've got some insane amount of damage for the early game. You can face check those bushes right away using your power of nature because you won't be crowd control. So you can literally just walk into the bush and come out alive. But then again, Kaja is a pretty good answer for that as suppression would, be able to take care of those kinds of initiation. But I really feel like that it's more of a CC versus a counter CC because of that Diggy pick that just came in front of us. So I would really say Zenchi has a pretty great chance in this game just because of that one Diggy pick.
And well, I would definitely go on Zenji this time because they have not definitely because they have a bit more formidable pick. I would say, they have a good balance. Of course, they don't have an EXP laner. Probably Carmilla will be going in the XP lane, but the team Panic seems a bit more formidable than Zenji. What do you say?
As for the draft, I feel like that they've got a pretty decent amount of upper hand against Panic. But really, if in case Khalid is going into the EXP lane, I feel like they might be a little squishy for the early game because they won't probably have that amount of tankiness. But the drafts are up, and I would just ask for your opinion, Grim. Who do you think will get the win? Just a quick pick.
Quick pick, I would say Team Zenji because I did see in the second game, they are pretty consistent in the performance. They did not lose their patience. So just for that reason, I would go with Zenji.
That is a pretty good judgment from your side, but really, I see two supreme titles coming in from Team Panic. That might make Zenchi
Oh my
panic a little
God.
bit on their way to victory in this game. But Clint up against a Beatrix. Beatrix has just been buffed, and her Nibiru deals quite a lot of damage. And
Welcome to
I feel
Mobile
like if they're able to
Legends!
capitalize on that, and they can force their way into the early game,
5 seconds
mid
till
game
the enemy
would be
reaches
Team
the
Panics, but we'll
battlefield.
just have to see how these things are gonna go, guys. We're gonna jump into the land of dawn, and right away, are gonna jump into a quick pause from the side of. Okay, that's Azizel, probably Team Zenchi. So we'll just have to wait. We'll have to see what exactly is the reason for this pause. Maybe a strategic pause, or it might also be a technical pause. We'll just give you the answer to that question in a little while we continue to discuss how different the draft of these two teams are because Grim, presence of a Grok as well as a Carmela, it shows a lot of mobility potential coming in from the side of Panic because we know Carmela can move quite fast using her skill too, as well as um, the wild charge of Grok can stun a lot of people. And if in case Carmina's ult is also casted in there, so that's probably going to be changed. CC, I don't know. We'll just have to see. But the damage is definitely going to be shared a lot between all those heroes.
Well, what I think at the moment is Team Zenji is going to take their time doing their farm, but Team Panic will definitely try to invade Team Zenji because they do know that the tankiness they have will make the squishy, will make the heroes of Team Panic a bit squishy in front of them in the early game. We do not know in the late game they might go do a comeback, but still early game I guess it will be dominated by Panic, no doubts.
That is true. And if in case they're able to capitalize on it and can add that snowball effect, then I really feel like that they might have a pretty big chance in this game. But honestly, for the late game, it's just like you said. I don't see a lot of potential from their side. It's just a lot of tankiness, a lot of frontlining that would be provided by the Balmond along with the Grog and Carmilla. Unless, of course, Grog decides to go in for the damage build because he is going for the EX billion. So we might see Blade of Heptases as well as some Blade of Despairs. But I don't know if it would be enough to pick off the backline because he'll be pretty squishy. And if a Divine Judgment lands perfectly, then he won't be able to do anything in that situation until his team comes for his rescue, which also would seem a little more difficult because Grok is probably the main initiator for the Team Panic.
Well, one thing Team Panic can do is do good roam for them, provide good support for the Balman because Balman needs to farm pretty fast. If I remember well, because the earlier time when I used to play Balman, when it was in the buff zone, right? Uh, Balman has, compared to the earlier days, it has lost much of its damage as we speak, but he's still a good hero, but they need to give him good support. If not, I don't think he'll be able to do much.
That is absolutely correct, but really, it's just look at the early damage. Balmond would have to retreat. Well, Beatrix was able to take a pick off in that situation. Kaja was the one who was taken down. So that was a pretty quick rotation coming in from Yumom. And Clint was not able to take a lot of gold out of that tower either. So I would say that that was a pretty good economical trade coming in from the side of Panic.
And we see, okay, that was a pretty smart escape by Diggy right there.
That is true. A lot of these mid-game engages would depend on how well the Diggy uses his time journey. Because if in case he uses it preemptively, then it gives a pretty good chance for the members. Oh, that was an amazing wild charge. Valorant just dashing in to secure that kill. Zelly had to do absolutely nothing. It was a beautiful setup by T40 in that bottom lane. I was really surprised to see how much of a damage the Grok dealt on the Khalid in the early game. Then just looking at the emblems, they're both running on the Assassin emblem high and dry. So of course, Khalid will not have that much amount of tankiness on him, and Grok will have a ton of damage, and that's going to be the turtle going for the side of Panic. While in the top lane, we can continuously see Beatrice going on a rampage, taking one more member down. That was a pretty good punish, and that too on the Bane gives a lot of room for the members. The Nibiru passion comes up, and another great pick off. The tower's gold is going to be chunked a lot by these members.
Well, that was a definitive damage, a statement by Team Panic. I would say, okay, we're not going to lose you in the early game as we did, but they're definitely trying to make a comeback. What I would say is they are not losing much of the map as they did in the last match. They have a good game control as of now, and the Grok is definitely being of a good support here. Trying to disconnect the minion waves in between. Of course, he was taken down this time, but he's doing the right thing, I would say.
That is absolutely correct. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, that's going to be Balman taking one pick while the Bane has been taken down by Carmilla. Not going to survive event in way too deep, and Diggy seems to be surviving for now. He has the time journey, so won't be caught up. But then again, he needs to save that ultimate for those team fight, for those engages. Let's look at the quick. Let's quickly take a peek at the build coming in from both these teams. 7-1 is actually the kill score, but for the goal difference, it's still to 12.8 to 9.6k. So not a very huge lead, but then again, it can be snowballed pretty quickly. So I'm seeing Zenchi, they would need to find an answer for this as quickly as possible. If in case they fail to do so, the goal can be snowballed uncontrollably. And look at the aggression. They're not letting them take even a single creep. Another blue buff invaded. Bane literally just left. He's like, alright, you go, you take that. I'm gonna go farm my own orange buff at this point.
See, that is what I told you in the early game. Like they do realize that their tankiness that they have as of now is better than the entire team Zenchi. And Balman going to trade for the kill of Kaja, but we will be retreating. What do you say, Scared? What I see as of the moment, we see Team Panic having a good, defense rather than attack. But the hyper of Team Zenchi is not doing much.
That is absolutely correct, but we'll have to see. That's going to be another pause being instated. Khalid this time asking for one. Meanwhile, we just saw another pick off, and that was probably Diggy. Yes, he was taken down as well in the top side. So, was it a snipe shot or was it a flame shot? There's no flame shot available. It was probably a snipe coming in from Beatrix, but I can see the top as well. Just a normal casual pick off coming in from the members of Panic. But look at the way how aggressively they're approaching that top side. We can say 4 members there, one defending the mid, because we know how important mid control is. But I would say a pretty smart decision making coming in from the members of Zenchi. Bane quickly going towards the bottom, trying to take the tier 1.
Of course, see, when the two things, as I mentioned in the last game, is one is game control, another is map control. Of course, you cannot have both these things done at the same time. You need to do your homework when you want to approach which system, right? So Team Zenchi now realizes that they are probably bad in attacking the enemies right now. They would go for the turrets because they do have the chance, right now, their hyper has the chance to take down 2 turrets, maybe, but let's see, because nobody knows what the late game holds.
That is absolutely correct. It totally depends on how well these teams play towards their mid game. But for now, the control does seem to be in the hands of Panic. And I feel like looking at the goal lead, how it's snowballing, almost increasing to 5K. They're just 100 goals short of it. Zenchi should panic in this situation because if it continues, then I don't think so they would have any answer for Beatrix until the Khalid lands his raging sandstorm on him and they manage to change CC, or maybe Kaja goes in for a flicker divine judgment combination. Apart from that, I really don't see how they'll be able to take Beatrix down in those team fights. And as for the late game, I feel like that they won't have enough tankiness to sustain through the burst damage that will be coming in from Beatrix, as well as Karita and the Balmond. Meanwhile, looking towards the top side, we can see the skirmish still continuing. Finally, Panic are deciding to back off. Balmond managing to pick Bane off, going in for that punish. A pretty good one, but I feel like Zenchi is probably just throwing bodies in this situation. Grok might be shut down. Raging Sandstorm connects, and that's going to be another pick off. That's a pretty good punish. The Divine Judgment comes in. But was it a good decision? I don't think so. Balmond is pretty tanky. The mid tier 2 has been destroyed. That's going to be the time journey used up so that the team members can escape. Zenchi not going to lose any more members, than necessary in this situation. That's going to be the Bennett's Rage used up. Khalid going in with his skill one, trying to get another pick out, but that's probably going to be it. No more casualties coming in from either of these teams. I really feel like that's how aggressive play should be. But then again, the answer coming in from the members of Team Zenchi, it was pretty good, to be honest.
Well, I would agree on that with you, Scan, because the aggression that the Grok especially has been showing since the start of the game, that, Khalid didn't seem to have an answer for that unless his team started getting support for it. And, well, the one thing that I don't understand is the hyper of Team Zenchi. Look at his score, because I don't see much of his performance in the game.
Because he's not being allowed to do anything. All his buffs are being stolen. He's continuously having problems during, farming. So it's like now, Khalid went in, tried to go in for a good Raging Sandstorm, but the wild charge was there. That's going to be Kaja picked up. Carmilla with the kill secure. So the whole damage was done by Khadita, and that's going to be another turtle in favor of the members of Panic. Just look at the way, man, that mocking. It's almost so irritating, but for now, all Team Zenchi can do is wait. Oh man, that was an outstanding wall. Vayne is not going to survive that at all. What a beautiful way to isolate the jungler and take him out of the team fight.
Pitch perfect, as we say, Scared. That aim was from Grok.
Absolutely. And look at how they're going in towards the jungle, trying to go in for those creeps, not giving the members of Zenchi anything.
And we see a pick off of Diggy by Beatrix. Of course, he will be taken down, but that will be a good trade for 2 for 1. And probably Grok will be taken down, or will he be able to escape there?
He's just baiting Azazel at this point. No way. That's going to be the ultimate used up as well. Let's see if Grok is going to survive that. Yo! Look at that HP! That's
he just
nasty.
That was, I would say, what we call nasty.
Yeah, that was literally nasty. Man, I wouldn't want to be in the shoes of Azazel in this situation. But anyways, 17-3. The score still is favoring the members of Panic, but Kaja just trying to buy time for his teammates. I really feel like at this point that they're literally just throwing bodies so that Team Panic, they don't focus on those tier 2s. They just try and go in for those kills, because after a certain point, you won't be getting a lot of gold and you won't be getting a lot of advantage. Plus, if you're going to throw a body, it also means that you're going to try and trade off some other objectives around the map. And one being the jungle farm that finally Bane is being able to get. But look at the Lord, it's been melted so quickly, and how well the members of Panic are zoning out all the members of Zenchi, picking off Diggy as well. Now they've got a massive advantage. That's going to be Carmilla jumping in with the stun. Grok is right there. Where is the wild charge? It is not available. So they're not going to force an issue for now. But the tier 2 might go down towards that top side while Bane is trying to push that bottom.
Well, I don't think he will be able to do so. Scared, Beatrix has started chasing him. They have their Lord on their side. They will have a pretty good time with themselves, to clear the lanes, to go on the lanes, to go prepare their attacks. Well, Team Panic seems formidable, Scared.
At this point, absolutely correct, because that's exactly what we were discussing. If in case they manage to snowball their early lead, then they're gonna get a lot of value out of it, just like how they're getting right now. Clint is almost down to his last bar of HP, still surviving. The mid tier 1 has gone down, so that's a pretty huge advantage already in favor of Panic. There goes in the ultimate of Carmilla as well. The Nibiru's passion connecting perfectly. They're gonna get 2 more members, and they've cleared almost all the waves. The bottom tier 3, that is the inhibitor, is going to go down along with the top inhibitor if in case they try and focus on that. But Clint finally getting some damage, gets a lot of chip damage on Carmilla, but that's probably it. They might not be able to push the issue. That's going to be Raging Sandstorm committed as well. Azazel has bitten more than he could chew. That's going to be a pretty huge bonk coming in from Balmond right on his face, taking 1 more member down. Another ultimate Ocean's Elect used by Karita, but not gonna get any more pickups. So they've got all the inhibitors, so they have almost everything that they needed from over the map.
Well, they have pushed all the turrets. They have cleaned the lanes. They have a good amount of damage, and they seem to be on the right track. Team Panic.
Absolutely. For now, I don't think so. There's any going down for their side until and unless they may make a massive mistake. Like right now, they're trying to force a lot of issue. Are they going to survive? Balmond is quite low. Clint is finally dealing a ton of damage. But look at the position of Invoker. He was just in that bush waiting for any aggressive play that might come from Zenchi. But they were disciplined enough not to overstep the bounds. All they need to do is just wait for Panic to make any mistake, and they just need to farm up at this point because the goal lead keeps on increasing. It is over 8,000 right now.
Well, what we see right now is Team Panic actually trying to space out the entire Team Zenchi. They are not giving any amount of space in the map. They are trying to steal every possible farm in the jungle. There, what I think is Team Panic is trying to do is not only zone them out, but actually, not give any space in the entire map.
That is absolutely correct. And look at the way how they're just zoning out all the members. He has to go back quickly. Also used up the time journey as well, and they managed to pick Ryzen off. So they've got what they wanted. They're just going to retreat back. They're going to go in for the Lord. While Grok is going to buy as much time as he can. And looking at the build coming in, Carmilla going to go for full tank. Has not been shut down even a single time. Grok with the Heptases, with the Malefic Roar, with the BOD, is going to deal a ton of damage, especially to that backline if in case they get caught in his wild charge. Thus, they'll have more than enough time to actually capitalize on that because that stun is nasty. That's way too long. Seems like you're just going to stand there forever until death reaches you.
Well, that 1 second, 1 to 2 seconds of stun is more than enough for any hero to be picked off by the next oncoming teammate. And in this case, they have the Balmond, they have Carmilla to connect the damage. They have the Beatrix, for God's sake, before the late game. I don't think they have much chance as Team Zenchi.
I feel like that as well. Since the Lord is marching down the mid lane, I don't think so they'll be able to defend it. They don't have the farm, and look at the burst damage. Ryzen has to go retreat as quickly as possible, but that's going to be Grok taking down the Khalid. Half HP deleted right away. They're going to target the Crystal. It's extremely low. The Lord was still healthy, and that is going to be the game. An amazing wipeout. What a way of winning the game. Number 3. Beautiful play by Panic, totally, removing the caster's curse from over the head in point 0.5 with the rating. My God, Balmond 6, 1, and 12. What a play coming in from all the members of Team Panic, and picture perfect. There was not even a single mistake from their side.
Well. What the support was from Grok, I did not expect that from Grok, to be honest. I did not expect.
That is absolutely correct. I mean, the way he kept Khalid at bay, it was so good. He did not let Azazel do his thing. But then again, the things came back down to the same point wherein I told that uh, the tankiness would be the major issue from the side of Zenchi, and that is exactly what came in front of them. Even though it was a late game, I really feel like they had some the 33k gold. They hit that mark, so they should have had 2 or 3 items at least that could have provided them the opening that they needed. But Azazel going in with almost a full damage build, apart from that anti-curious, he was being melted by the Carmela as well as the Kadita. And then it was just the Diggy who was being, going in for that full tank. Even Kaja was trying to go in for the damage, and there was not any effective divine judgment that I saw from their side. But all in all, it was a pretty good gameplay from both the teams, and the way Panic has answered after that game number 1, it's so beautiful to see. Right now, the backs of Zenchi are against the wall, and we'll have to see if they'll be making a comeback and if they'll be making an upset in this game or not.
The cost did not affect the team. I was rooting for Team Zenji, based on the performance from the last match. But no, you never know when the tables might turn away.
That is absolutely correct. Now, guys, we're going to catch you guys in just 5 minutes as we're going to prepare for game number 4. Make sure to hit that like button along with the subscribe button. And don't forget to show the support to your team in the comment section. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hello and welcome back to the quarterfinals of MKE Season 4 Championships, sponsored by Genesis Store and co-sponsored by Zentro Store on Slay Official YouTube. Welcome back to our wonderful audience. We are now at our match 4, with the previous match being won by Team Panic. Now the score stands at 2-1. I'm here with my co-caster Scared. What do you think, buddy? Who is going to win?
I mean, I have to look forward to. I'm looking forward to this match, to be honest, because right now the backs of Zenchi are against the wall, and it seems really difficult for them to come
You
back
have
from this situation. But we'll just have to wait, and we'll have to see how well they play in this game and number 4. Because of course, I don't think so. They would like to give, um, you know, more early game potential heroes, or maybe they can counter draft the members of Panic if in case they have that kind of hero pool. You probably have seen them a lot more than me right now, Graham. So could you please take over for 2 minutes? I believe Graham is not yet available, probably facing some issues from the network yet again. But no worries, let's just see the draft that is currently going in. And the Kadita has been banned out by the members of Zenchi. That's absolute respect being shown towards the members of Panic. 1-1 Martis and Leomoda are going to be the bans that are going to be retained. So Valentina was left open and has been picked up right off the bat.
Well, we see the first phase of team picks has begun with Valentina being picked by Team Zenji. We have the Carmilla being, and so are we going to see the same picks once again by Team Panic, or will they be going for more of a comfortable pick once again? Because we see Kaja once again. Okay, we see the return of Atlas in the game. Atlas and Valentina may be a formidable combination, but we have seen Carmilla doing a pretty good amount of damage since the last 2 games. Well, nobody ever knows. So the tables are yet to turn because this is just the fourth match of the quarterfinals of the best of the 5, and the score currently stands 2-1 in the favor of Team Panic. We
Hmm. You're absolutely correct with all those points because I can probably see the Sicilian Carmela combination coming in. If in case they do go in for that, and if they manage to pull that off, that's gonna be a massive, I would say, advantage for the members of Panic, because the way that they've shown us how vast their hero pool is with the Sicilian pickup, it's obvious that its play style is absolutely different from that of a Kadita. But at the end of the day, it's literally a late game monster.
well 200 and like in the less than 17 minutes, if he manages to pick up 200 stacks, 200 to 250, and along with the damage of Carmilla, probably we are going to see a domination and the match being ended from the mid lane itself. But Team Zenji is not the one to be giving up so easily because we have definitely seen their comeback in the second game.
Yes, you're absolutely correct with that. And the comeback potential is absolutely amazing. But for now, the Atlas coming in as the Rome pick right away. I really feel like that was a pretty good choice. That too, locking him in the first phase of the draft, it made sure that they're going to deny quite a ton of utility based heroes to the members of Panic. Finishing the draft with a Roger along with a Claude. I really feel like that they're answering pretty well to the draft of Panic this game. I mean, much better than the previous game.
Well, it is definitely better than the previous game, but is it better than Team Panic? They have Leslie on their side, they have Carmilla on their side, they have the Sicilian on their side. Like they have already, they have already prepared them Only if Kaja and Carmilla are able to handle and support the team in the early to mid, I guess we are going to see a domination once again from Team Panic.
That is true, but I feel like this time Zenchi might have a better chance in, clearing up this game, clearing up the battlefield, just because of the fact that probably because of the Leslie pickup as well as the Sicilian pickup, the members of Team Panic are pretty late game oriented. So I don't think so if they'll have enough early game presence or not. Of course, Saber can be pretty viable in a lot of situations, and you can um, target the Roger as well as Claude, and the other members of your team can actually go in and finish them off if they're left at 1 HP. But then again, Sicilian would not have enough damage to take him down. But they are all speculations, guys, after all, because the game is on. It's going to be match number 4 between the team Zenchi, who are on the blue side, taking on Team Panic, who are on the red side. Match point in favor of Panic. Let's see who gets the win. And look at the aggression right from the previous game. Carmilla trying to go in for the invade, trying to, pose a threat to Roger. And oh my goodness, Roger is the one who's got a pretty low HP. Camilla surely knows when to retreat, forcing out the retribution right away. Let's see, he's being taken down quite low. Vengeance has been used up. Kaja is right there, but do they have enough damage? Yes, Devas is going to retreat as well. Kaja was taking quite a ton of damage, but it might be possible for Esmeralda to pick him off. Will they manage to get the first blood? Of course, that's going to be Carmilla punished for that aggressive play, but I feel like the presence that they needed to show was shown as Leslie takes Claude down in that bottom lane 1v1. That is not the start you're expecting your team to have.
Well, one thing I did notice is, the Carmilla is, if not trying to steal the buff, he is trying to delay the farm of Roger. Probably that is what she's trying to do. Even that is going to be a great help. Of course, not in the situation that she was currently in.
But of course, in the later stages of the game, it's going to make a massive impact. Right now, the bottom side is where Team Panic are looking to show an impact on. And I really feel like Zenchi, they do need to go and get in a couple of pickoffs, because if they don't manage to do that and Claude gets shut down like this, then it's going to get way too difficult for their team to even try and contest the members of Panic in the mid to late game. The power spikes are absolutely amazing that are going to come in from Sicilian as well as the Leslie. So they have to be very cautious in all of these situations.
Well, after being cautious, the one thing they should focus on is not giving up their stance from the game, because they have a good space with them right now. And, one thing they should focus more on is, giving time to their hyper. Definitely Saber is a good hero. Probably one of the best assassins, I would say. Just pick and kill. That is what he does, and he did it once again scared.
Absolutely. Clearly showing the domination coming in from the members of Panic. They're going to take the turtle as well, and Roger seems to be in trouble. He's quite low in the HP. He's going to retreat back. Valentina seems to be the target for the members of Panic. They want that kill, but Leslie with the killing spree on Roger. Atlas is not going to survive either, as Saber picks him off, and that is going to be a massive utility-based combination from their side. It's going to provide such a boost to their economy.
Well, they did that kill did boost their gold farm. One thing that will do is they now know which hero to target and which hero to not, based on just that one team fight. Because they did notice that if you did see the earlier team fight on the turtle, Roger has started getting some good amount of damage right from the start, but he doesn't have the good amount of support that he needs to finish the heroes off. Probably that is what they should focus on. And meanwhile, while me and Scared were having a good talk, Kaja and Sicilian picked off the tier 1 turret of the XP lane.
Absolutely. I saw how Esmeralda was just deleted in an instant by the burst damage from the Blade of Heptasis coming in from Zetli. I'm gonna call him Zetli, though I love that name, but It just reminds me of the probably Korean or maybe a Chinese hero, Jet Li. I used to watch a lot of movies of that guy. He was gonna, he always used to go in 1v4, just like how this Claude is trying to go in for the Blazing Duet. Gets a lot of chip damage to two members. Camilla goes in with a curse of blood. Oh my goodness! No way! You guys can bring out that kind of combination. Nasty play yet again from the members of Panic. Zenchi have absolutely no answer for this Carmilla.
That was probably one of the best uses of the combination of Carmilla and Sicilion I have seen in my time that I've played this game. And I'm saying this because I've been playing this game since the last 3.5 years. And I honestly have never seen Sicilion and Carmilla being so in sync that the enemy team is trying to escape. Was it actually real scared?
It's as real as you and me, and the damage of Leslie is also as real as that, because that was an outstanding display of burst potential. The pushback is also there. Saber's gonna come in with the triple sweep. Roger's gonna be swept out of that river, and they're gonna chip away the mid inhibitor as well. Valentina goes in for the IMU, but look at the burst damage godlike by the Leslie. It's not even 6 minutes into the game, Grim.
Not even 6 minutes, and just 6 turrets remaining for the team. And Team Blue, Team Zenchi, you need to do something. You need to give a comeback as you did in the second game. Leslie, Sicilion, Carmilla, every single player of a Team Panic right now in their comfortable zone, in the habit of damage. They are doing absolutely perfect with the roles that they have taken, and they have a good chance here. They have a good chance to finish it right away in the fourth match.
Oh my goodness, look at that burst. Cecilia with the double kill already. Esmeralda does not have enough to tank that much amount of damage. Leslie goes in for the flicker, uses the ultimate as well. Esmeralda tried to come in between, but the lethal shot was already out of that bullet. You can't stop Leslie's bullet once it's out, and it has escaped. Claude could not escape that at all, and mid lane tier 2 has also been taken down. Picture perfect control of how systematically a team should take over the map control. Panic showing a perfect display of that, and now are going to focus on the bottom lane tier 2 as well. Gauging the members of Zenchi. Esmeralda probably trying to bite more than she could chew. The level is not enough, and look at the poke damage. Valentina is half HP just by the poke.
Just 7.5 minutes into the game, they have already lost 6 turrets. Team Panic has reached the inhibitors of Team Zenchi. Are they trying to? Well, they deserve one troll. They are doing pretty good at the moment.
I don't think so about the troll, but Kaja is probably going to get taken down if in case Roger managed to get the last hit. No! The Divine Judgment was on perfect time. Atlas goes in for the flicker to get that pick off. But he was taken down himself, and the Lord is now here, and no one to give the vision to the members of Zenchi. That was a nasty baiting of the utilities, but Sicilian seems to be in trouble right now. No Carmilla around, so no shield for him, but the Leslie is right there with the burst damage takes on the legendary, and they're gonna force the Lord as well. No one to even stand the chance of contesting this Lord. What a beautiful play by Panic.
Well, that was a beautiful play by Panic, and Roger trying to steal. Will he be able to, or will he be taken off? And he was taken off.
Finally, a beautiful fatal link coming in from Atlas, but the burst damage is absolutely not enough as Claude was taken down. Leslie with a double kill. Esmeralda not standing a chance. The tanky heroes are being melted like they're wax. They're literally wax on the surface of the sun. Have absolutely no chance in standing. The Lord is marching down the bottom lane. Will this be it for Zenchi? Will they be able to force a comeback? Sicilian, look at the burst. Almost taking down Carmela. He was just one lethal shot away from his demise. But mid tier 2 is going to be taken down. Another objective. That's going to be Valentina going in pretty deep. Let's see if he's actually going to survive. Esmeralda finally is there on time. This time the Claude with the blazing duet has absolutely no damage. And it was deleted in an instant. We were talking how difficult it might be for the members of Panic, but look at that. Almost a maniac. Will it be a maniac? I don't know. The Divine Judgment was there. Carmela denies that, takes on the double, and they are going to take the crystal as well. Team Panic getting an absolutely amazing win over the members of Team Zenchi.
That was one of the best games of the MK Season 4 Championship. We are, of course, in the quarterfinals. Team Panic are definitely showing their prowess in the game. They have just shown why they have qualified for the semifinals of this tournament. They have won 3 games of the best of the 5. They finished the game in the mere 10 minutes with the score of 36-6 in favor of Team Panic. That was absolute complete domination.
6-36. That's actually the square of 6. That's the most amount of maths that I've learned after my graduation. But seriously, not even 10 minutes of the game, and look at the picks. It's Alyssa Leslie. It's a Sicilian. They're late game monsters, and with that kind of draft, they managed to end the game within 10 minutes of mark. That's commendable coming in from members of Panic. Zenchi tried, but they had absolutely no answer. Fatal links were not connecting. Claude finished his Demon Hunter sword, had no golden staff, so there was absolutely no chance he would be able to deal a decent amount of damage. Valentina with the Genius Wand was going for the Enchanted Talisman, but it was way too late. The farm difference was out of this world, and the snowball was uncontrollable. And in that fashion, Team Panic moves to the semi-finals in the upper bracket, guys. Thank you all for tuning in for this outstanding quarterfinals of the upper bracket. You were watching the MKE tournament. The casters being me, Scared Yet, along with me, Grim. You're going to witness the quarterfinals tomorrow of the lower bracket. So make sure to click on that like button and on the subscribe button as well. Do make sure to come back and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any notification of the upcoming videos, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been Scared Yet, along with me, Grim. We'll be signing off for the night.